Good evening, folks. Welcome to another A Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 tournament race. We've got Oneup and rdwalshv here. This is a game 3. This is a win and you're in situation for these guys. They've fought through the groups here and they're trying to get through to the brackets. Should be an exciting race. I'm Sabotender and I am joined by my good buddy Drossi. Drossi, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. I am excited for this game 3. We haven't seen too many of them. How about you?
I'm really hyped for it. I know these two guys should be a good race between the two of them. Their game 1 and game 2 have kind of gone, for one or the other and kind of by a fair chunk there. So hopefully we see a nice nail biter of a finish for this.
Well, it's also interesting because this is actually the 5th game between the two of them because they faced off in the first week of groups, and Oneup actually swept rdwalshv in that, and this series between them has been much more even.
Just shows you kind of how rando can go these days, I mean, capable of taking this series here. It's come down to a decisive game 3, so really excited to see what happens here. So settings today, they are going to be playing standard opening sequence there. So we'll see Hyrule Castle. We're going to save Zelda, and there's also going to be an assured sword. So Uncle is going to have a sword.
Actually, I've heard for version 31, you start with the sword but can't actually wield it until you talk to Uncle. But
yeah,
I guess we'll
that's
see
right.
how it works
that
in
is
practice.
That's when they first switched over the version and weekly standard race. People were kind of confused because we had the sword in the inventory right off the bat, but we couldn't use it until you talked to the uncle. So yes, that is a good point. Good thing to take note of.
And we're off. Looks like Uncle's going to get some Weetabix.
Cool, cool.
Oh, and Oneup is playing as Bowser. And rdwalshv is playing as some princess. I'm not sure which princess.
Does look like Peach. This could be a Bowser v Peach situation, as I think Chameleon K pointed out in chat earlier.
And we get a quick map check. I saw a 5-6 crystal on Eastern and a regular crystal on Hera. I didn't catch Desert.
It looked like a pendant. I don't think it was green, but I don't quote me.
But yes, I really like these sprites.
This is yeah, a nice pair of sprites for a game 3 here. Alrighty, bombs off the start here, and also with a drop from an enemy, so it looks like that's going to be no problem for our runners when they need to get to the back of escape there.
Yes, and it's relevant because in a release that just came out, we now no longer have non-standard prize packs, so the enemies are a little bit less likely to be dropping bombs, so it definitely should put the runners at ease that they found one out of a chest.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Alrighty, so escape sequence takes about 6 minutes for most runners here. More bombs. That's cool. And as our runners make their way down to Zelda Cell, just want to give a quick shout out to our tracker tonight. It's Raspberry Floof, who jumped in last minute to help us out. Much appreciated. So show him some tracker love. Alrighty, making our way to the next chest. We'll see what we've got coming up in just a little bit. Oneup just a little cleaner off the start here, but only a few seconds ahead doesn't really make too much of a difference at this early stage.
It's going to be 6 minutes, give or take a few seconds, no matter what.
Okay, big 20 there. Very. You always kind of want your item, some kind of item to show up in the escape sequence to give you some direction kind of early on in a seed. You know, if you get like a bow or something, you might be more inclined to go for Eastern Palace early on.
Yeah, but it looks like if we're getting anything with direction, it's going to be in the back of escape.
So we're just going to have to wait.
We will be taking advantage of our free light cone, though.
Definitely one of the pluses for playing standard mode here.
Though I've wondered, actually, I've never looked this up, what's the implications there for the items in back of escape? Because in open mode, you need either the gloves or a lamp, but here you get the free light cone, but depending on the layout, you might not have bombs to do the back of escape. So are those items not in logic until you get either a glove or the lamp?
It's a really good question. I would imagine that would be out of logic technically, because if you don't get the bombs, then you would have to make your way back through other means, and that would be with lamp or glove. So it probably is kind of a good indication if you do find something early on that you're going to need either a lamp or the glove to show up early as well to put that in logic.
Oh, and just to address chat, the loser of each race can change one setting for the next. So rdwalshv lost the first race, and he chose to change to a guaranteed sword for race 2. Oneup lost that race, and he chose to change to standard mode for this one. And we kept the change to guaranteed sword. So once we get to the later rounds of brackets where it's a best of 5, we could see quite a few changes stacking up by the later races in a series.
Yeah, most definitely.
So we have really had a total bust and escape today. Sanctuary is going to be our last chance, otherwise the runners will just be, I guess going to Kakariko and hoping for the best.
I think that's probably the play, yeah, unless you want to see someone save and quit and head down to South Shore to start, which is something that I like to do, but CAC is probably going to be our straightforward kind of play.
And the only positive is that, hey, as opposed to open mode, it was a green pendant on desert.
Oh.
Yeah, as opposed to open mode, at least the runners won't have to think about escape anymore for the rest of this match.
That is a good thing. Definitely the benefit to have starting with a standard mode, not having to worry about when to dip the escape. So we're seeing some divergence here, which is cool. rdwalshv going for the strat I like to go for, which is South Shore before Kakariko. We've got the bombs, you got a weapon, so it's a pretty quick set of checks.
And Oneup finds just enough money in the Lost Woods to be able to pay the bottle merchant.
Yeah, looking in good shape to take care of Kakariko. Not leaving anything behind.
Yeah, he has enough bombs to get through all. Ooh, that South Shore route is going to be necessary.
Yikes, I like it. Okay.
Gotta like the early Moon Pearl.
Let's see if there's any other goodies here. So we're going to be opening a lot of chests here on both screens. A lot to look at.
And the nice thing about the Assured Sword is that you don't have to rely solely on bomb strats to go through Mini Moldorm Cave this early.
This is true, yeah. Blind's Hut so far.
Okay, Mini Moldorm is definitely coming through for us. Those boots are nice. Bombos could be required. Boomerang is, well, boomerang.
Hey, it's a thing. It's not nothing. Ooh, an unfortunate death there. That crab just took out rdwalshv.
And meanwhile, Cackwell has given us a fetch quest in the form of the shovel and the hammer. Wow. Okay, that's the first useful thing we've seen on Oneup's route. So the seed was taking a little bit to get its footing, but now it's starting to give us good items.
Ooh, and the glove at the Bonk Rocks, that's going to be really nice for Welsh if he wants to head right into Village of Outcasts. After doing Kakariko, he'll be able to.
Now, interestingly, despite having the boots, rdwalshv is not going to check Lumberjack, it looks like, unless he's taking a very unorthodox route there. Because otherwise, Aga1 is dead unless there's something on Lumberjack, so I'd kind of like to see Lumberjack and know for sure.
Alrighty, taking a look at the library and the race game. Wow, that check was quick. I didn't even see that.
Nor did I, unfortunately. Okay, now we're getting the Lumberjack look, though. ₹300 on Lumberjack, so Aga1 is not going to be seen in this seed, but in the process I missed what was in the race game.
Yeah, I also missed it. When I'm doing these quick checks here, I'm falling behind. Oh, Walsh sequence breaking up the mountain here. This play I'm not so sure about. You've got so many items in Kakariko, and really with what you've got in your inventory right now, there's not a lot up in the mountain. You've got to get the old man, I guess, at some point in the race, you'd think. But yeah, a little early for this play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what it does other than establishing the save point. And meanwhile, Oneup's now taking that South Shore set of checks and will have Dark World access in probably the next minute. And that's going to be interesting. Like, super early Dark World access, it's always interesting to see what the runners do with it. Do they immediately go to the Dark World, or do they finish their Light World checks?
Yeah, it is really hard to know what the right play is in that situation. I don't know. I don't really like anything else that's left on the board that our runners would have to do. So I would think that, you know, at the very least, you want to do a Hype Cave and then go from there, maybe.
By the way, since I've never seen this Bowser sprite before, I was noticing pulling the lever. Does Bowser, like, pull levers with his mouth? Because that's sure what it looks like.
I'll have to pay attention to that.
Let's get a second look at library here. Piece of heart.
Okay. Alrighty, so Walsh's in, Kakariko now going to pick up his Dark World access in the well. So that's cool. Getting a new check from Oneup here, heading out to the Ice Rod Cave.
He just needs to be careful because he's on green armor and those sand crabs take 2 hearts with each hit.
Yeah, pretty scary, but he looks like he's gonna make it.
Yeah, the boots combined with the early sword definitely help. You can charge most things except for those cucumbers.
And as usual, Ice Rod Cave has nothing. What a terrible check. It's just the worst location.
Now, Oneup is still running, so yes, he can water walk by jumping into the water while glitches.
He's got just enough cash for Zora there. That's interesting.
And not even checking Hobo or Lake Hylia Island. And he is very lucky that that piece of heart did not refill his hearts, or it would have killed the water walk.
Okay, bottle on the ledge there. We don't have a bottle yet, but I'm not sure if he's going to grab that or not.
I mean, I would. You know, you never know what Sick Kid could have. Wow, Zora, the king of ripoffs today. Oh, and he didn't grab the bottle. If Sick Kid has something important, that could be a missed opportunity to get a leg up.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see where Oneup goes next. He's getting his glove here, so he should probably head into the Dark World as well. We've got Walsh, who's looking to head into Village of Outcasts. It looks like Skull Woods and whatnot. Is Oneup going to do the same? Looks like he might.
Well, it looks like he's going up to check Lumberjack now, unless he's also doing Death Mountain. Nope, Lumberjack check.
Alrighty, so a couple of pendants in the Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, and then Skull Woods was the other 5-6.
So I'm sure the runners aren't going to complain about Swamp and Ice being pendants, unless they have required progression.
I mean, they probably will, so they're gonna have to dip that at some point, but the hope is that they don't have to. Big 20 in the C-shaped house, whole lot of nothing.
By the way, fun fact, just because this came up, chat was talking about it in an earlier race today, there are a total of 7,560 possible pendant and crystal combinations.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's if we care about 5-6 versus regular crystal and green pendant versus other pendant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just kind of funny because chat was trying to figure it out, so.
Wow, that is a lot of combinations. So even into the Dark World here, little bit of a shake-up between our two runners here. Oneup going for the Skull Woods checks first. Walsh going right for Thieves' Town.
And they do have the hammer, so they can full clear Thieves' Town, which is always nice, because if you orphan that big chest, you spend the rest of the seed wondering if you've orphaned an important item.
Looks like Ice Rod there in Skull Woods.
Yeah, speaking of important items, that's a rarity. An early Ice Rod and Turtle Rock is actually a crystal. Usually if the Ice Rod's that early, Turtle Rock's a pendant.
Yeah, right. Getting the Ice Rod early on in a seed is like one of the best feelings, because you know it's not going to come down to a stupid hunt for a terrible item. Although it's still good. There are other terrible items that that might need to be found, but that at least is one less that you have to worry about.
And most of the other items have a bit more restriction on where they can be found.
This is true, yes.
How many items did we get in the front of Thieves? It didn't feel like too many, but I didn't catch exactly how many.
I wasn't counting either, but Master Sword up here in the attic, so that's nice.
Definitely a good find. And Oneup doing his last check in. Wow! French vanilla fire rod in addition to the ice rod, and there are only 2 items in Skull Woods, so
Wow.
we're 2 for 2 on rods in Skull Woods today.
That's fantastic.
Which, wait a minute. Oneup just got the fire rod. You would think he would go to the back and finish Skull Woods.
Must be a little bit scared of the green male 4-heart Mothula.
Well, just a vanilla piece of heart on Bumper Ledge. I guess 4 hearts is pretty low for fighting the moth.
4 definitely feels like scary. Like, I think even 5, I'd give it a go. But 4, it's just like, man, if I can find some quick hearts in these checks here, he's probably going to do Thieves, because Thieves, like, you can get through. Then go back for Skull Woods. That's probably the play.
Well, he's about to get one in chest. Oh, no, he's going into Thieves first. Okay, now he's going to chest game, so he will get a heart in here. And rdwalshv just showed us there's also a full heart in the Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah, he's already sitting on 6 hearts, so he'll. I wonder if he'll go into Skull Woods at this time, or if he starts heading down towards Hype Cave and the like.
Yeah, so Thieves Town all told had some nice items, even if they're not, like, hard required. I mean, the Master Sword is hard required, but there are also 2 other sword upgrades lurking in the game, and half magic is really nice to have, especially when you don't have too many weapons this early on. Being able to fire the fire rod twice as often is nice.
Yeah, kind of a nice, like, I don't know, just like bolstering of your defenses, I guess, in a way, early on, which is always kind of nice. You don't want to be playing like on a critically low percent kind of C. Alrighty, so Walsh heading away from Village of Outcasts and Skull Woods, so he's going to miss out on the fire and ice rods for a little bit.
Yeah, he will need to come back there eventually.
Only thing I'm wondering is, like, how long until he gets back there? Because I would say that this is like he's putting off Skull Woods, assuming that it's not going to be okay. The bow hanging out in the digging game. So that's going to push him towards Pod Eastern. So Fire Rod is definitely going to not be found for a little while longer on his side.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive that we already have access to 4 crystals and potentially Pyramid Fairy.
A little of touch and go here with Oneup here. 1 heart only in a kind of a dangerous room.
Well, at least with that Master Sword, he's having a much easier time with the lizards.
Okay, it's time for Hype Cave. The cave that always disappoints. Piece of heart. Oh, another sword. Oh, and the cape. Single rupee. And the mushroom Kind of fetchy, but not bad for Hype Cave.
Yeah, no, better than most hype caves of late. The cape we know will not be required for anything, but it can be useful for things like Vitreous or Ganon.
Alrighty, so Walsh heading for Pod. This is a play that I generally agree with. It's going to be a little bit tricky if we do actually go through down to the turtle room in the dark. No fire rod to light the torch. It's going to be a little bit scary, so hopefully he can pull that off if he goes all the way through to the end. Meanwhile, Oneup finishing up Thieves Town here, just heading into the blind fight. Should be no problem. He's got full health, and he's going to keep blind on script here pretty well, it looks like, at least.
So far, so good.
Good fight, good fight.
Yes, Blind has this weird property that the first time you face him, if you do the same thing every time, he will do the same thing every time. That's an interesting glitch there with rdwalshv. He hammered the pot, and the pot didn't disappear, but he was able to hit the switch under it anyway.
Yeah, there's a couple of kind of janky pots in the game where that seems to happen a lot of the time. Alrighty, so Oneup is also leaving Skullwoods behind. I can understand why. I mean, you've already dug both items out, so you're just going to go clear the dungeon at some point. And without the bow, at least not quite yet, he doesn't think that he's got to get the 5-6 crystals in any kind of hurry either.
Right, I wonder if getting the bow will change his mind, though now it would be a bit of a hike to get back up there since he jumped past that Titan's Mitt rock.
Yeah, he might think about heading back. Oh, he's maybe digging for a little bit of money to pay off Kiki.
Okay, he's got it. As long as Kiki doesn't get scared off. And I've seen surprisingly many runners lately manage to get Kiki scared off.
I mean, it just happened with Walsh about 5 minutes ago there. It's an extra 10 rupee penalty there. So I don't think we've dug anything out of Pod quite yet. It's been most of the front side we've seen so far, so most of the goods usually hang out in the back.
Considering that at least 4 of the 6 chests in the front must be small keys. But there's a vanilla big key. Oneup, meanwhile, getting his tempered sword and cape and shroom.
But not giving me any chest turns. I'm very upset. Okay, Oneup giving us a new check here. We have not seen Pyramid, so something could be hanging out on the ledge.
Yeah, and I guess if he really wanted to, he could do catfish while he's out this way.
Looks like
he is.
Yeah.
Because without the hook shot, there's nothing else he could be going for up here. And without the mirror. Meanwhile, Walsh is showing us his darkroom navigation skills. Finds a small key in one. What's in the other here? Piece of heart. And Harmless Hellway has to have the last key, so we can skip it.
Oh, wow. Flipper's hanging out with the catfish.
Which puts that bottle on Zora Legend logic, which puts Sick Kid in logic.
Yeah. Doesn't open up either of the two dungeons that require flippers quite yet. We're missing a key piece of the puzzle for each one, so there's no fear of getting baited into those dungeons quite yet.
I think the runners are going to put off those dungeons even if they had access as long as humanly possible and hope they could get into go mode otherwise.
Yeah, it'd be quite a play, I think, at this point, when you've got other dungeons you can clear. Okay, Oneup picks up a red boomerang, which is very cool. Another heart as well, which is nice.
Walsh is in that turtle room that you were talking about. No, he's in the dark maze, sorry. I got ahead of myself.
Oh, wow. We're on Buttersword now. When the heck did that happen?
Must have been the first dark maze chest while we were watching what was happening in Sahasrala's hut.
Okay, so Walsh saving and quitting here, kind of making like a sensible play. I think, you could risk it and, try and get through Dark Turtles there. But, if you blow it, it's a pretty big time loss. And you're either going to keep trying and failing again and again, or just, cut your losses before you even, have put any chips on the table, really, and come back to it later.
And there's that lamp, so Oneup will not be dealing with any dark rooms today.
Excellent. So it likely means that he'll dip Pod after this, and I would imagine that Walsh will probably go back to Pod and finish that off, seeing he's going to be over in this neck of the woods anyway.
Wait, was that a mirror portal? Does Walsh have the mirror?
I don't think so.
I must have been imagining things. He came up through the light world. I just... Okay, clearly too much randomizer for me. I'm seeing mirror portals where there aren't any.
Alrighty, so the vanilla big key chest here, is the big key here? It is, okay.
We'd run out of other locations for it.
Yes, this is true.
So, vanilla big key in Pod, vanilla big key in Eastern. And I think Armos Knights are going to have an item. I think we got both dungeon items.
Yes, I think so too. So far, pretty close race. The seed hasn't really given us too much to kind of like really branch out and explore. It's been a little bit linear, but both runners keeping it close here. let's see, we got one up with the fire and ice rods for having done Skull Woods a little earlier, but other than that, pretty much the same.
Yeah, and I have to imagine one up will just go to the Dark World portal south of here and then do pod after this.
Seems like a reasonable play. Ugh, just junk on the boss there.
So yeah, what have we opened up at this point? We need a mirror or hookshot to really be able to explore Death Mountain. We don't have the flute to get to Mire area. We haven't seen Aegina. That's always the Sphere 1 location that most runners won't hit. So
yeah, that's a big one that's kind of outstanding at this point.
And I wasn't counting items in pod. I don't know if Helmasaur has an item.
Ooh, okay. He might.
Because other than that, we're starting to run out of checks. I mean, there's Pyramid Fairy, which Walsh doesn't even know is in logic right now.
Actually, that could be a thing.
We're just trying to think what else there is. We don't have the mitts. That's keeping a huge number of locations from being accessed.
Yeah. Oh, and Chad pointing out Raspberry Floof, our wonderful tracker, pointing out that Mushroom has not been turned in by either runner yet. So that's
True.
outstanding. Wow.
So we have Mushroom, we have Pyramid Fairy, we have Aegina, and I'm not sure what else hasn't been checked.
Oh, Sick Kid. Yeah, that...
Oh, right! I kept saying about it earlier.
Thanks, Justin. Huh. Yeah, and then, you know, the thing that's unfortunate is, like, all of these checks are kind of lame. Like, they're kind of one-offs, out of the way. No one really wants to do them. So someone's going to get lucky and get it, like, first check. Whichever check they go for, they're going to get it. And someone is going to do every other one of those terrible checks before getting to the correct one.
I mean, if we find another bottle, then we don't have to get the one off Zora Ledge.
This is true.
I mean, if I'm one up, I'd probably finish off Skull Woods next and then do Pyramid Fairy simply because there are 2 checks in that location compared to the single checks in the others.
Yeah, and I mean, the way that this seed has kind of bottlenecked a little bit here, it actually is going to help Walsh out. He might think to go to Skull Woods now, and then just finish it off in the same go, which will actually prove to be a pretty decent time save for him.
Yeah, and with half magic and butter sword, moth should not be a problem. I didn't keep track of one-up's routing. I guess he already got the big key and forgot it that he had done it. Yep, he has the big key there.
Oh, I think he was just trying to reset that room. I think one of the beetles got over to where he wanted to jump off from. Maybe.
Those beetles, they're always such characters, aren't they?
Yes, indeed they are. You can be a top-tier runner and still get owned by them, as we saw earlier in this tournament. Alrighty, Walsh is on Helmasaur here, so his kind of early dip into Pod has proven to be pretty good. He's already fighting the boss, whereas Oneup is still running around looking for stuff. But what Walsh does next is going to be kind of key, I think, for him.
There's that butter sword. Oh yeah, Oneup setting up the death warp here. Makes sense.
So just the compass on Helmasaur King there. So we were out of items here in Pod anyways. Okay, so Walsh not saving and quitting. He's going for Pyramid Ledge and most likely Catfish as well. So he's going to pick up those flippers. All right. Oneup not too far behind, really. Just heading towards the Helma King fight now. But he's done a little bit more of the overworld stuff, so, I mean, it's pretty much neck and neck still at this point. The seed's been pretty linear, and both of our runners have been up to the task here.
But still no mirrors, so Walsh won't be able to just go to the light world and do all the flipper checks.
No. But he, having not done any scouting of the water locations, might take those flippers and immediately start using them. So we might see Hobo and get that bottle off the ledge. So he might get a couple of things that Oneup will be skipping for a little bit at least.
That's true. I totally forgot that we haven't seen Hobo, so I guess there's a full half dozen locations that can still be checked.
Yeah, we're not quite at last location territory, but it is starting to get to that point where you're like, what the heck is the progression? Walsh is probably thinking that these flippers are what he's been waiting for.
Maybe they are. Maybe Sick Kid has something. Maybe Hobo has something.
Huh, okay, so we get the flippers, and then we decide to go take a look at Spectacle Rock. And maybe a Spike Cave? Okay, this is an interesting little one-off here. This is also one of those things that we didn't think about, but it's in logic. You got half magic in the cape. Huh.
No one
Gutsy
ever thinks
play.
about Spike Cave.
No.
But it's a bust.
Okay. Didn't really cost him, like, too much time. Still, you know, he was, you know, kind of swinging for the fences there with that play, I think. Could have been something great. Turned out to be a whole lot of nothing. But now he's going to do flip checks, it looks like, while Oneup heads up the mountain.
Well, I am eager to see what Hobo has for us today.
Yeah, as am I.
Blue armor's nice, but it's not progression.
Yeah, it sure isn't. I think what's going to work out for Walsh here, I mean, he's getting pretty close to running out of checks, as is Oneup. But with Walsh's route here, he's going to pick up that bottle from the Zora ledge, and that's probably going to send him right back to Kakariko, and then I'd imagine into Skullwoods after that.
We can hope. It's interesting how both runners prioritize Spike Cave over some of these other locations.
It is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Meanwhile, Walsh having to farm for some rupees here is kind of unfortunate.
At least he's pretty close. One more trip into this cave.
Yeah, that's fair. Alrighty, so Oneup doesn't really have too much else other than Skullwoods if he's heading in this direction. So he's going for the 5-6. He's thinking that Pyramid Fairy is the answer today.
Yeah, I like the Pyramid Fairy play, but that's just me.
I mean, I like it too. If your 5-6 crystals are this early, I don't know. Why not just do it?
I also like that Walsh was for a bit doing a water walk even though he already has the flippers, just to save time.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It saves you, maybe a second there, running rather than swimming.
I thought you only needed... Whoa, Oneup having a bit of trouble with that fire rod, but I thought you only need one key in the back of Skullwoods.
You do. He's just trying to cut out killing the mummy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Walsh is picking up that bottle. Someone's gonna show us Sick Kid.
I like how Oneup ended up getting the key anyways. Must be just like muscle memory or something.
So much for that time save.
Yo, have we seen the shovel check?
Yeah, he did it pretty early on. It was nothing.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, bombs. Okay, yeah.
I love that shovel dash, though.
Very swag.
Okay, so here's the save and quit, and probably to Link's house and Dark World and Bomb.
Probably, unless he fake flippers, well, not fake flipper, I guess, but flippers to the mushroom first. But now he's got the hammer ready. Probably do the thing.
Well, Oneup didn't miss anything by not checking Sick Kid.
This seed, man.
I mean, we're really running low. It's pretty much Pyramid Fairy or Regina at this point, yes?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man, it's always great when you find your necessary progression in a Sphere 1 check that you could have done half an hour ago, right?
That's definitely going to feel bad if it is Gina. Like, that's not good for either. They're both going to feel like they're behind, even though they both skipped the crap out of it. All right. So we're going to see something new here. I want it to be something. I want this seed to kind of step into the next, the mid-game phase. We've been stuck here in this like really kind of weird early situation for too long.
Early situation with 4 crystals.
It feels so early, though. Like, why do we not have all the things that we need? I guess we're closer than we think.
Okay, well, that's powder. That's our next fetch quest. So we now have the mushroom spot, the magic bat, and our favorite unchecked Sphere 1 location.
So much trash.
Okay, looks like he is now going for that whirlpool to turn into mushroom. Especially since we don't have to worry about fake powder anymore since we have real powder. Walsh picks up his fire rod meanwhile. Just a Fisher-Price shield there, which Oneup is turning up his nose at.
Man, this is getting stupid. Yeah, we're really getting down to it. So he's going to go grab that bottle now because we haven't seen any other one come up. He's thinking, okay, well, it's Sick Kid and Magic Bat that he can kind of group together if he goes and gets the bottle here.
That's true. And then, yeah, gotta go to desert. If neither of the... Well, we know Sick Kid won't turn up anything. So if Magic Bat doesn't turn up anything...
Yeah.
The powder's presence on Pyramid Fairy and the relatively early availability of Pyramid Fairy do make me think that Magic Bat's likely to have something.
Yeah, I think I agree. I don't think that it's Agina at this time. Like, it's got nothing. It's probably the Magic Bat. Walsh playing around with the tiles there.
Could be both.
Oh, and he gets grabbed. Ugh, that's so frustrating. Just getting bullied by everything in that room, but he's through now. Oneup giving us the Magic Bat check.
Moment of truth.
I thought it was going to be the mirror. That's so poopy. Okay, so I guess we're going to go up the mountain, or do you go into Swamp Palace? Like,
I'd strongly prefer going up the mountain. More checks.
It's probably the right thing to do, and you get Hera as well. So it's the play that makes more sense. But yeah, gross.
Well, let's see if Walsh does the same thing now that he has both of his 5/6 crystals. I mean, the funny thing is, we now have access to 5 crystals, but we are so far from the 6th and 7th.
Yeah, it just feels like, I mean, well, we have the Bombos medallion. I'm gonna guess that, like, both are going to be Bombos, or at least one is. Maybe Turtle Rock. But yeah, it feels like we're so far away. Yeah, we're maybe not. We might just run into everything after this. I like that Oneup is showing some... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I was just going to say, we need the mitts, we need the flute, and then it's up to medallions. Oh, and Cane of Samaria. Forgot that one.
Yeah, like it's not like a ton of things, but it is a bunch of things. I like that Oneup showing a little bit of restraint, not heading up the mountain immediately, going for Graveyard Ledge, and then going to mirror into King's Tomb. So I like that, you know, you're not rushing up the mountain when you've got a couple of new checks to look.
Yeah, the Cave 45's kind of orphaned at this point.
Yeah, I'd leave that until I'm like desperately considering a swamp dip.
So Oneup gets his Fisher-Price shield anyway.
Yeah, right. Where did he turn one down earlier?
The Witch's Hut, but you just can't avoid the Fisher-Price shield. It'll come for you.
True.
Meanwhile, Walsh now has his powder, and looks like he's also going to do the mushroom turn-in first.
Oneup going for Hylia Island? Is there something on there? Have we seen that?
Walsh saw it, Oneup has not.
Ah, okay.
Oneup also never did Hobo.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, this makes sense. He's clearing off just as many things as possible before making the trip up the mountain.
So Walsh is going to have to do that magic bat right around now.
Yeah, I think this is, once again, it's evening out. Walsh doesn't really have too much else to do. So, yeah, I think bat... And then we'll see if he decides to just go up the mountain right away. It might save him a little bit of time if he decides to skip on Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb.
Well, I think Oneup's going to go up the mountain now, so he still has a little bit of an edge. No, he's starting at Link's house. Oh, he realized he started in the wrong place.
That feels like even worse, given the little lag that happens with the save quit now, or the little delay. Anytime you pick the wrong location, you feel so stupid. It's such a bummer. And you like frantically mash the buttons to try and make it go any faster, and it just doesn't. Well, Walsh is going right for the mountain, so we got a race, folks.
And still no book to check that ether tablet on the way.
Book's probably in Turtle Rock. Probably won't have any. Maybe the. Oh, hey, there we go.
Okay, so yeah, that mirror was very much our progression.
Yeah, I mean, it's rando, so it can go anyway, I guess. But it feels like this could end up just kind of things could fall into place pretty quickly here. I really would rather see that than have our runners have to like dive horrible dungeons like Swamp or Ice Palace.
Well, they'll definitely check Dark Death Mountain while they're up here.
And I'm telling you, I think Bombos for TR access, so we might even get that dungeon done as well. We might be Well, actually, no, we need Cane of Samaria first. But that might turn up. We going over to Death Mountain, you know, and we could still find it.
A nice bomb jump by Oneup on his second bomb. But we haven't seen the second item. It's got to be either on Moldorm or in the basement.
Man, if it's in the basement, do you basement skip?
Well,
Nice.
No need to worry about the basement.
All right. So East Death Mountain, then Dark Death Mountain. We got lots of goodies. Hopefully something turns up. I mean, Cane. I'd like to see Cane over here.
Without the hookshot, all we can do on Dark Death Mountain is 3 checks plus figure out what the medallion for Turtle Rock is. Oh, and it looks like Oneup is going to do those checks first. Why not? Unless, of course, the hookshot is in, like, Spiral Cave, and then he has to go back into Hookshot Cave.
Right.
But you were at least half right about Bombos.
Yeah. So far, yeah. It seems like, you know, I mean, I don't know. Just felt like it was going to be Bombos to get. But where's that darn cane? The cane is probably in Swamp Palace or something stupid. It's just to make it, you know, inconvenient to the max.
Or ice.
Yeah. Yeah. Even worse. Gross.
So nothing really in Super Bunny. Okay, so thanks to bonking, there is one chest in here that's in logic. The others would require hovering, though. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Good thing bonking is in logic. Because there's that one room in GT that is only accessible by bonking, so we know that the developers intended it. So that move was totally in logic, and the hookshot could perfectly well be there.
That's awesome. What a stupid spot for hookshot. I love it. The thing is, that only makes Swamp Palace look even better now. We can get into the back, and that's where the cane's gonna be, I'm telling you.
No.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on Smith Chain. It'll be nicer like that. Ooh, that bottle actually had something in it.
Very cool.
I'll certainly take free blue goo.
Yeah, definitely.
And with the mirror, we get that nice block deletion move through Paradox Cave.
Alrighty, just 5 more locations left to check, and then we gotta think about what to do next.
Ooh, red mail. The all-important swag net.
Mm-mm.
Just a bunch of red stuff.
But not the red cane.
Probably just as well. Do you really want to be diving Turtle Rock already?
Yeah, I'd love it. Huh. So this with the mitts, with the hook shot, like this does kind of suck because the seed is, although there's not a ton left to explore, it's kind of like a race for the cane, I think. I'm guessing that flute is probably in TR, so it's going to be who finds the cane first.
Well, looks like Oneup is going to do the Smith chain, which is good. So there'll be Smith, hammer pegs, K45 along the way, and purple chest, and hopefully he'll then continue into desert and do a Gina.
Yeah, that's definitely a likely way for him to go. He might, after doing the Smith chain, he might just dip right into Swamp Palace immediately and see what's up there. Oh, it looks like Walsh might be just going for Swamp Palace, cutting out this Smith chain entirely.
Well, this could separate the runners one way or the other.
I mean, I think I would probably do what Walsh is doing. I don't know. Swamp Palace is just so gross. I do. It's a great dungeon. It's a great dungeon. Very underrated.
Yes, I take most of my vacations on the left side, honestly.
It's such a nice place to visit this time of year. Okay, so we didn't see anything in hammer pegs, and I assume that Smith was nothing so far. Just got
Smith
K40.
Was just a big 20.
Cool. Okay, so K45, and then the purple chest. Oh, no.
Well, Bombos is right on the way. I mean, this is great. It'll get him into desert to finally check a Gina.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, he's gonna do the chest glitch, where if you mirror with Gary on screen when you come out of the mirror portal, you'll give him the chest. How the heck do runners find these glitches?
I know, right?
Because I hadn't heard of that one until like a month ago.
It feels like one of those ones that's been like known, but yeah, it really kind of blew up just last month.
By the way, just to respond to chat, I was seeing a comment about pet in logic, and I realized that wasn't because we can now check the pet, it's because desert's now accessible. Well, there's a heart container on the ledge. Oneup is going into desert before checking a Gina. I mean, it's full clearable. Hopefully the two items will be in the front.
I mean, and it's the green pendant, so you do get the one extra item as well. And you're following kind of just the items you've been getting. You got the mirror. Mirror opened up a couple things, got you the book as well. Maybe follow the book for a little bit. I get it.
And it wasn't even boots locked. That's what happens when you get the boots long before you have Desert Palace access. It's of course not boots locked.
Yeah, right?
So I guess we have to hope Landmo has the map, because I don't want to have to think about how Oneup would respond if he's missing one. Oh, there's Silvers.
Okay, cool.
That'll be a very fast Ganon fight with Butter and Silvers.
Yeah, also nice for the vitreous fight. We'll save a little bit of time there. With the butter sword, again, even the eyeballs fall pretty quick, but they do make a little bit of a difference.
And of course, Lanmo has the other item.
Well, you gotta commit at this point, so...
well, especially
let's
since
see
it's
what he's
green
got.
pendant, so Sahasrara could have something.
Yup.
Meanwhile, I haven't been counting items in Swamp. We haven't really seen anything interesting there. But there's something on left side, since Argus dropped the compass.
I don't remember seeing the map, but it's at least one item over there. At least one.
And Walsh is committed, so he's going back in. He knows there's at least one item, and if we happen to miss the map, maybe there are two. Because he did get the big key early and opened the big chest. So we know that's not back there.
Yeah, and when you've got, basically it's where's the cane? It's in one of the 3 pendant dungeons. You've made your pick. I think you got to full clear it. You couldn't, leave left side at this point.
Yeah. And Oneup, having found those silvers, is going to have a nice fast Lanmo fight. 1. Ooh, missed. Got the second. Still pretty fast.
These guys, no luck here. It's going to be an ice palace. They've both dipped a different pendant dungeon, and they're going to find out that all along it was in ice palace. Although I'm still sticking to swamp here. Like, I mean, I said cane swamp. I'm going to, left side's going to, bail me out here.
Well, we will finally get our final Sphere 1 check here. Which may lead to Oneup feeling silly, but if so, Walsh is going to feel even sillier. Nope, just vanilla.
That would have been something special, I think, if that actually was the cane.
Could have been the flute, too.
Yeah.
But you're convinced flute's on Laser Bridge, and I can respect that.
Yeah, pretty much. No. No! It wasn't in swamp.
I guess that last one was the map. Okay, so where's Oneup going now? Ped check?
I think so, yeah. There's nothing else over here for him.
Get your ped hype in chat.
No. No.
Well, Walsh is visiting ice.
Yes.
Okay, not ped. So we have ice, we have ether, and we have green pendant.
I think when it comes to pendant clear order, I think Walsh has done it right here. Because Oneup looks like he's heading for swamp, and knowing, I mean, it's the most dense of the 3 left, or at least of the 2 left that he's got. But yeah.
I mean, he just saved and quit to Link's house. Why wouldn't you turn in the green pendant before you start diving swamp?
Again, talking about committing to your pendant, he should have seen it through, I think. Quick check over to Saha just to, completely write off desert. Now it's kind of hanging over him. I mean, if Swamp comes up with nothing, then which it will. So in a few minutes' time, he'll probably turn in that green pendant, maybe before Walsh has a chance to finish Desert. So, if it is the green pendant, then he's in better shape.
Yeah. And if it's Ether Tablet, he's probably in better shape just because I think the runners are gonna last location everything before they check Ether Tablet at this point.
Yes, I think I agree. I think if it comes down to an absolute last location, which Ether Tablet might be, Oneup's probably in a better position.
So we're taking the good old hookshot room through Ice Palace here.
Man, Jellyfish did not want to get out of the way there.
Now the interesting question is how quickly can we come up with all 3 items?
Yeah, that's another thing. Could be all the way down to Cold Stare. I guess if you've already done one pendant, you're probably, thinking that you're committing to going all the way down to the bottom, especially for Walsh not knowing if pedestal is a thing.
Well, there's one useless item in ice. Is that our first item? I can't remember what was in Compass Chest.
Oh, it's 2 items already. Ugh. It's funny, this seed has really felt like a quick seed, but at the same time, like a painfully slow seed. Like, it's just like dragging every possible check out before you find the next piece of progression. That's just not fun. Now we gotta go down to Iced Tea, and the item could still be on Cold Stare.
I actually hate Iced Tea Room more than I hate getting the item off Cold Stare.
Oh yeah, Iced Tea is a terrible check. Especially when you set up the bomb jump there, as we see with Walsh, it just takes a little bit longer to even get over there. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, are we really down to 3 locations left? Seems that way.
Yes. Yes, we are.
This is awful.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
is. Yeah, get out of there, man. Get out of there. No time to waste.
Oh boy, well that gives Walsh the lead. Unless there's something like Flute on Sahasrara.
Oh, that'd be really weird. I don't think that's in the cards, but that would be strange.
Well, I mean, you've already preordained that Flute is on Laser Bridge, so we'll go with that.
I don't even think it's on Laser Bridge. Laser Bridge is everyone's favorite. I think it's just going to be in the Fire Rod room or the Fire Locked side at the front.
Oh, even faster. But either way, Turtle Rock is full clearable, so we will be getting the whole gamut of checks, especially since we don't have a flute, so we don't know what medallion Meyer is. So even if we got the flute, they'd probably continue checking because they only have one medallion.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a pretty good bet that it's just going to be Bombos, but you're definitely going to check everything as you go, for sure. You know, it's really too bad for Oneup. That book was such bait. Like if he just hadn't done Smith Chain, if he had gone the same route as Walsh, I think he'd be more or less in the same position.
Well, he's got silvers.
Hey, not nothing.
Faster Vitreous fight, faster Ganon fight. That's, probably a minute or so savings.
Yeah.
Not nearly as much as the amount of time he has to make up, but it's a minute or so savings. Oh, and he wasn't counting items. Oh, now he counted items. Well, let's see about your...
Oh, come on. No!
What did you really expect?
I mean, yeah, it's not super likely for it to be in that room, but I just don't want it to be on Laser Bridge. It's always on Laser Bridge. Maybe it's in Mimic. Or maybe, like, Lava Island. Mix it up a little bit, game. Come on.
So let's now send Oneup some good vibes through the 20-minute time delay to just go immediately to Iced Tea Room.
Yeah, if he can route the dungeon a little bit more efficiently, if he gets down to that check a little sooner, then yeah, that'd be great. He could save just a little bit of time, get him caught up a little bit. I do like the use of hookshot in that room. I think I should probably like time out. Like if it's faster to do the spins with the butter or tempered swords, or if the hook is actually a lot faster. Oneup made it look pretty quick there.
So what princess is that in Peach's bunny form?
Oh, I missed it.
She was purple. That was about all I could really tell. Wonder what Bowser's bunny form is, a Koopa shell? We'll probably find out when One-Up's in that room because everyone gets bunny beamed in that room.
Alrighty, Mimic Cave. What do we got?
So Walsh isn't doing the latest meta of checking the big chest before Mimic Cave. Clearing the thing anyway, it doesn't really make a difference.
So it's not Mimic Cave, it's just gonna be on Laser Bridge. There's no hope anymore.
It's the canonical location for all missing items.
It's where they always end up. Like that
It's
aisle
like
of
the
misfit
Hyrule
toys.
Hyrule Lost and Found, really.
Hyrule Lost and Found, yeah.
Please come and claim your lost item on Laser Bridge. It will be available for the next week. If not, it will be given to a poor sick kid.
Yeah. Looks like Oneup is going the exact same way that Walsh did, so not going to save himself any time here.
Ooh, and he didn't make the bomb jump either, so he's gonna have to go all the way around.
Of course it was on Laser Bridge.
I mean, you were the one who wanted it in Turtle Rock. I was just saying if it was in Turtle Rock, it had to be on Laser Bridge.
I mean, the seed was pointing that it was going to be in, Turtle Rock. But, yeah, just a little disappointed that it's on Laser Bridge.
It would be kind of funny if Trinex has a medallion on him and it turns out that's the Misery Mire medallion.
The amount of times that also seems to happen where you're like, oh, I need this medallion, and then immediately you get it. Yeah, I could definitely see Trinex dropping a Quake here.
Okay, so Oneup's finally gotten his cane. Unfortunately, he's a full dungeon behind Walsh now.
Yeah, we're going to need something like really funky Ganon's Tower Big Key, I think. Or, as I think Chaz pointed out, the thing that Oneup has in his back pocket is that green pendant. If that has a medallion, yikes, that could really kind of shake things up.
So that's our 6th crystal.
Yeah, first 5 seemed pretty smooth, and then a whole lot of nothing happened for a while there. So you're probably a little bit anxious at this point that you're not quite close to done yet.
So really, the biggest thing that could save Oneup is if it turns out that the medallion from Misery Mire is on Sahasrara.
Yes. I think that might be the only thing that really could save Oneup at this point. Besides, maybe a tile room gamble in Ganon's Tower paying off, and then some execution through the rest of the tower.
We are acquiring the duck an hour 25 minutes into the seed. I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, pretty late. Alrighty, heading right for the mire. We want to see Bombo. If you're Walsh, you want to see Bombos here. If you're Chat, you probably want to see something else.
It's Quake.
It's probably going to be next door here, but that's so rude.
There have been so many times when I've seen the Mire medallion in Mire Shed. I wouldn't even be surprised. Yep.
Easy game, man. Easy game. Just leave the key under the mat there. I was kind of hoping for it to be in Checkerboard Cave there, so I could shout out to my boy Faraim there. He and I raced back-to-back races with Quake in Checkerboard Cave both times.
Wow. Was Quake needed for Mire both times?
Both times, yeah. It was great.
Well, in any case, I think that's game, set, and match.
Yeah. Again, it would take something pretty gnarly in Ganon's Tower, I think, to swing this one the other way.
But I do want to see what Bowser's bunny form is here. What is that?
Oh, is it the clown car? He's got the clown car. Oh, it's a baby Bowser. Oh,
baby
maybe.
Bowser in
right.
heart form. Well, we don't have a Godmire today.
Which never fails, you know? I mean, all you want to do is hustle through this dungeon, and Meyer just says no.
There was a seed this morning in groups where one of the comms, who shall remain nameless, said that you never have a Godmire for Crystal Mire, and as soon as he said that, it was a Godmire.
I mean, that is true most of the time. I would definitely support that person. Okay, so Meyer being dumb here. Where is that big key gonna be? It's just gonna be on cutscene chest.
Well, let's see if it's in map chest. Last chance, right?
Yeah.
Wait, do we already... Oh, no, he's just circling around. No, wait.
Didn't do the bridge chest.
Oh. That's an interesting meta. So it is a Godmire. So if Oneup does it in normal order, he could make up some time there. It probably won't be enough, but he can make up some time.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a minute of just dead time there. Interesting. It feels like Walsh was like, he thought that he had done that one already when he got out of the spike room, and he was like, I've already gone up to the bridge, and he, I guess, had just not.
Ooh, and Oneup is going to do the bridge from bottom to top, it looks like. Oh, nope, now he's decided. Okay, there's his flute. And he is going to save a little bit of time by not checking those last two chests.
Mm-hmm. Just getting.
So yeah, we'll have to...
Ooh, yeah.
I was just going to say, we'll have to ask Walsh in the interview why he saved the bridge chest for so late.
Yeah, probably just an honest little goof there. Oh, Oneup. You were making a good play. Now you are making the bad play.
And here I was thinking he'd make up some time.
Shoutouts to the no boots laser skips there. Pretty hard to pull off, and he made it look easy. Wow, okay, so Artie Walsh heading up to Ganon's Tower in just a little bit. He's got all 7 crystals. So although the speed gaming bot has been down for some time now, we are still gonna, guess where we think the big key might be. So throw some numbers, 1 to 22 in the chat there. Drosy, what do you think, man? I see your guess in the chat already there. 10, is that what you're going with?
Yeah, I figured I'd just put my favorite guess in chat tonight. What about you?
I am gonna go with, I don't know, 16. I'm gonna pick a weird number. I'm gonna go 16.
So that would be, in normal order, that would put it in the vanilla room.
Yeah, why not?
Though if they go full right, it would be in rando room, 16.
So 2 good spots for it to be. Yeah, okay. I like my guess. One up, please. Oh, is he checking Ether Tablet? Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, in principle, it's a good move. We just happen to know it's not the right move. It would be really funny if it's a vanilla Ether.
Then he'd feel real good before feeling really bad. Womp womp.
So get your last guesses in there.
Alrighty, we're going left first here. Small key on the torch, gonna take that. Yeah.
Even if it's at the cost of Bob's life.
Poor Bob.
Yeah, so do we think Walsh is doing Dark Magician here?
I mean, like, it's the hotness right now.
Oh, didn't need it. The answer is 5.
That is a nice early key.
Let's see if I can scroll back and see if anyone guessed 5. No one guessed 5. Looks like the closest was Noveltine with 4, so congrats for being only one off.
Did you miss Indie Rocker?
Sorry, right at the bottom there. My bad.
We have a winner.
So unfortunately, especially with that double dip of Laser Bridge, Oneup, even if he jets through Meyer with the God Meyer route, is going to be too little too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. There's not enough silver arrows in the world, I think, to make up the time here. Alrighty, Walsh, switching over to Fire Rod for the next couple rooms of the gauntlet here. I like this choice.
Ooh, and Oneup does a bad charge.
Yikes, things just aren't going his way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and doubly unfortunate since, barring some huge change of fortune, this is going to be his last match of the tournament.
Yeah. Okay, just one Landmo left here.
Pretty easy with the butter sword.
Oh, Oneup is saving some time here. Not only, well, he's trying to hover there.
He needs a key, though. He needs to grab that key. Well,
he gonna get it.
now he is.
But you wouldn't need it if you hovered.
Oh, right, it was only for that. Sorry, I always just kind of think in my head of, oh, they need a key to get to the back. I don't think about, well, if you do hover.
Mm-hmm. It's not like Palace of Darkness, or whatever, where you do need that key for that basement. Alrighty, and Walsh is already through the torches here.
Now, with Walsh not having the silvers, I wonder if he's gonna open some chests up here just because, or if he's gonna feel too behind anyway. He's opening them, or at least one of them.
Yeah, that one's close to the door. I can see that one being opened. Yeah, cool. Powders the anti-fairy and the bunny beam. Refills the magic and is ready for mold.
And Oneup suddenly realizing, oh yeah, I have silver arrows.
Must have been running some NMG or something, just going for that spin strat instead.
Yes, it is worth remembering that in NMG it is impossible to have either Butter Sword or Silver Arrows when fighting Vitreous.
And just like that, Walsh is into the Aga 2 fight. Not a great first pattern, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was just a single there, I think. This looks like a better setup. Yeah, that's a double.
Nice, that's a good double at the end there.
Yeah, 1-1-2-2, that's decent.
Wow. Okay. I mean, we're at an hour 40 into this race, and with the amount of last locationing that both runners kind of did. We were down to quite only a few checks left when both got to the Cane of Samaria. You've got to start thinking that the dot done is coming. So it's going to be kind of a tense fight, even though Walsh has got a substantial lead. He does not know that.
Oh, and just to address chat and timing. Speed Gaming schedules these matches for 2:30, but we like to get the next match set up 10 minutes in advance if we can. So it's really 2:20, and that also includes time for interviews. So, we expect these to last no more than 2:10.
Almost into phase 4 already. This fight is just flying by for Walsh.
Yeah. Did you find the arrows in Desert Palace? But he does get the torch glitch with that lamp.
Well, he's just 12 spins away from moving on to the bracket phase of the tournament.
Well, at least Oneup will be on his way up Ganon's tower by the time that happens, because he's about to get the big key.
Pops the blue goo there. Good call. You don't want to take a death to Ganon, even though your opponent is a little further behind than you think. You don't know that, and definitely good to be safe rather than sorry. Oof.
Ah, the sad irony. That's exactly what you want to do if you have silvers.
Yeah. Oh, we got to be getting close now.
There we go. Get your
Right.
GGs in chat.
Yeah, GG's to rdwalshv the fifth. Coming across the line here with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 40 seconds. GG's. Moving on to the brackets. So we'll see if Walsh wants to chat with us as we watch Oneup climb the tower here.
Hopefully he will, though I don't see him yet.
Oh.
Yeah, chat's commenting. This is pretty impressive for rdwalshv since Oneup swept him the first week, and then he was down 1-0, so he's played 2 successive elimination matches and somehow came back and worked his way into brackets.
Alrighty, so we've got Walsh waiting in the wings here. He just wants to let Oneup finish first. So let's concentrate on the action there, and then we will chat with both of our runners. And as chat pointing out, a little bit of an upset here. Although anyone who qualifies in the top 128 has a shot. Everyone in this community is super good at this game, and Walsh took this set here. It very easily could have gone the other way. Oneup's a great runner as well. We're seeing some great execution from him. Just a little bit unlucky with that darn cane today.
Yeah, and there was no reason of all 3 pendant dungeons to particularly think it was ice.
Yeah, nothing really stood out like that was going to be the one. I mean, I was thinking it was swamp, so I would have been, one step behind. I would have probably been in the same boat as Walsh.
And meanwhile, Oneup is now down with Moldorm 2.
Alrighty, into the Aga 2 fight. That first pattern kind of gross. Let's see how Oneup handles that one. Rest of the fight, not too bad.
Ooh, did not handle that one too well.
Yeah, it's a gross pattern.
Okay, he gets the double there. Yeah, but it's going to take 5 cycles because he didn't get anything that first one. But on to, hopefully, a very quick Ganon fight.
Yeah, he's got those silvers, so it's going to go real fast. Only 3.5 hearts, but I trust that Oneup can take care of Ganon. No problem here.
And I don't think he's used his blue goo either.
Well, he might pull that out then.
Like right now. Well, that's enough hits to get through phase 2.
I like that he almost got through the fire bats both times there, or when they were still ringing around Ganon there. That was close to being like pretty swag.
Yeah, without the hook shot even.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the torch glitch, but he should get Ganon before the torches go out.
Yep, still a really quick fight here. Oh, I thought he was done.
No. Yeah, I thought he was just going to get the double on that last one, but he decided to play it safe. Either way, Ganon down. Get your GGs in chat.
So while his tournament may come to an end. He's put up a good fight here. Let's hear it for Oneup, finishing with an SRL time of 1:47.51. So we'll see if we can get him in the chat as well, and then we'll bring both of our runners in.
Sounds like we've got them in here, both of them. GG's.
Thanks, GG, rdwalshv.
Walsh, you might want to unmute your microphone. There we go.
Yes, I might. Thank you. Yeah, yo, GG Oneup. Yeah, those are. Sorry, I'm still stressed. Hey, hi, hello everyone.
You're the winner. You shouldn't be stressed at this point, except about the intimidation of brackets.
Yeah, kind of. I'm still really surprised to be making it to brackets. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this. Yeah. Sorry. Talk more. I'm sorry.
I mean, it came down to the search through pendant dungeons. It was really just a matter of who searched which pendant dungeons in which order to get the cane.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess of a seed, unfortunately, but yeah, yeah, it was really hard trying to figure out, like where stuff was gonna show up, and trying even to keep track of like what has my opponent done, where's he likely to be going. It's just, yeah, after you last location a couple things in a row, it starts to get real hard to figure out. And then, yeah, some of my execution down the stretch was probably not as good as it could have been, unfortunately. But yeah, congrats to rdwalshv.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys just both played quite well. You were like 10 seconds apart from each other when you were doing Tower of Hera and East Death Mountain and all that. You were really close at that point. The separation really was just, who did which dungeons. Yeah, so Walsh, why did you decide to avoid the desert?
I never actually ended up finding book, I don't think. Like, that must have been in some of the overworld that I skipped. I probably should have been more thorough with the overworld checks, but at the same time, like, flippers were super early, and, like, that hook shot, like, why else would the hook shot not be, like, that available? So I kind of just made the hard read into Swamp, and then that busted, and it's like, okay, well, these flippers have to mean something, so it was just ice, and yeah, I just never ended up finding the book, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it was K45.
Oh, right, yeah, that's...
Which you guys got the mirror so late, it was basically orphaned at that point.
Yeah, so Oneup, you went for Smith Chain. When you found the book, I imagine that you were doing Smith Chain to lead you into Swamp, and then picking up the book, like that just like, it really baited you into the desert play, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah, about that time, I think I needed the flute and the cane at that point. And, I'm trying to keep track of, like what could be on the ped. And I'm like, well, if the flute's on the ped, then the book has to show up. The cane, there's a good chance that's not going to be on the ped because it'll be required for Ice Palace. And then all of a sudden that book shows up and I'm like, oh no, like that's all the pieces I need for the ped to be open now. And yeah, and then so I did that quick check, which was pretty painful to do without the flute. I don't know, in hindsight maybe I shouldn't have done that, but at the same time, having not touched any of the 3 pendant dungeons yet, like I felt I needed to check the ped and figure out how far I'm gonna go in these dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I mean, unfortunately it didn't do too much good because like, yeah, I think Landmo had an item, and Swamp it's kind of hard to avoid doing Argus. And then, yeah, like, I didn't have to do Cold Stare, but I had found the cane at that point, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, I think we were thinking that if the green pendant turned into the medallion needed for Meyer, that really would have swung the game around. So that is one thing that could have gone in your favor, but just didn't quite work out.
And speaking of Meyer, actually, RD Walsh, you had some interesting routing in Meyer. Was that like a strategy, or did you just forget about the bridge, or what?
So Meyer key logic is a thing that exists, and I don't know if this is like actual like a thing or if it's just something I'm imagining, but I kind of feel that like in the first two chests, like the spike chest and the bridge chest, like you're either gonna find like an item or a small key or the big key leading to the small key. And it kind of seems like if you find an item in the spike chest, that usually means that there's going to be a small key in the bridge chest, or it's going to be a big key leading to a small key. So I just kind of read the logic, and I learned a lesson. Don't do that.
That's interesting.
The only piece of logic I know for sure is that if there is a small key in one of the fire-locked chests, there is a big key in the other. And maybe that's also true pairing lobby chest and map chest, I'm not quite sure. But that's all I know about keys and Meyer logic. I know Meyer key logic is crazy because you can never actually lock yourself out of anywhere, and that's why it's possible for Vitreous to have a key.
Yeah, it's interesting, and like the bridge chest skip is like that's something I saw Jem do one time, and it's like, oh, I can try that. And no, I shouldn't do that.
Never again.
No, yeah, this is the bad time to try that out. Well, I've tried it like in a couple weeklies, but yeah, that should just be weekly only, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know I don't know if I have too many other questions really, but I guess we'll just go runner by runner here. So Oneup, unfortunately, this is the end of the line for you, bud. But you know, how do you think everything went? I mean, I guess you're probably a little disappointed, but you know, all in all, what'd you think of your tournament experience, I guess?
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely disappointed. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was going to be a little difficult to get through groups, especially when I saw Wayne in my group and like the rest of the people in the group.
It's tough group.
Yeah. Congrats to RD Walsh. Yeah, hopefully he'll do well in the brackets.
Yeah, hopefully. And Walsh, man, you made it through. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel happy about it, obviously. GG to Oneup again. Like, you are a really good runner, and like these were really fun races, and yeah, it does feel kind of weird to like make it like you actually have like a win over me, like you're up 3-2, but that's, yeah, it's just like unfortunate sequencing there, I guess. But yeah, man, I just feel like really just happy and just kind of lucky because like sorry,
No, man.
Jammering.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, no, like I just feel really like lucky to be here because like in my first qualifying race I kind of TJ'd myself and didn't stream gameplay, so I was like playing from behind the whole like in the rest of my qualifying races, and yeah, just like, you know, going down like in the first round, like having to be in the bracket races with Daze Cloud, and like, you know, if I don't do Dark Magician route against Daze Cloud in game 2, I don't know where I'd be right now. So yeah, it's like, you know, some skill, but like a lot of luck kind of got me here. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best in brackets. I'm gonna get like a really, really good opponent, and I'll just have to, you know, just put on the big boy pants and try to punch up again.
Sounds good, man. Well, best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, and yeah, GG again.
And on that note, also, please do follow our runners. I mean, you saw they both put on a great performance for us. RD Walsh will be advancing, Oneup isn't, but I'm sure Oneup has plenty of races left in him for other tournaments. So yeah, give our runners a follow.
Cool. And I guess that's going to do it for us. Big shout out to our tracker, Raspberry Floof, who stepped in last minute. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for doing that. And our SG setup guy, Made Walk Herd, stepped in as well. So they did a great job for us. Much appreciated as well. Don't give our SG guys a shout out as much as we should. Really appreciate that. And big thanks to my co-com, Drossi. It's been a pleasure, buddy.
Oh, it was awesome working with you as always. And speaking of SG shoutouts, also, please do give the Speed Gaming family of channels a follow. We have Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 5. And on that note, there's actually a race that is going to be kicking off on the main Speed Gaming channel in 1 minute. Phyleon versus Ganon's Gone Wild. So you're probably going to want to hop over there after we sign off and check that one out.
Alrighty, and that is going to do it for this broadcast. So thanks again for tuning in, and until next time, GG.
And have a good night.